Interstellar is a groundbreaking movie. Every write, it set a new precedence for movies worldwide. From its in-depth themes to its beautiful visuals, it's by all means an all-time great. But specifically, Interstellar is so important under the context of today's quotation. "I dream for a living," uttered by Steven Spielberg, a great in the industry in his own right. Specifically, with the two main characters, Coop and Murph, we see how their love for both science and each other was able to change the world and literally save humanity. Here, this brings us to our main idea. To love a craft is to love life. Here we can examine this under the examples of building connections between us because of the love for craft, and also innovating past the precedent because of our love for our work. When we consider Coop and Murph, we can understand that by loving their craft, which is science, they were able to build a connection in between dimensions to see each other and help each other, even when they couldn't communicate through our normal channels. We can also see this through both Virginia Woolf and the movie Moana 2. In Virginia Woolf's writing is often comes back to feminist literature. In her novel, specifically Mrs. Dalloway, she explored themes of being a woman and a writer in a high-class society. She shows how women, even in higher socioeconomic statuses, have to undergo so much prejudice, have to act in a certain way, have to be a certain way to be taken seriously and allowed to exist in the society, all because of our external perception. Here, her love and passion for writing and feminism allowed us to live better and allowed her to live better, as she was, one, advocating for causes she cared about, and two, she was advocating and bringing together women in high society and later on in other novels such as To the Lighthouse in Lower Society. Moreover, we also see this idea of how loving our craft helps build connections through Moana 2. In Moana 2, Princess Moana leaves her island again to help connect the island nations across the world. No simple feat. This mere teenager is able to do this because she loves her people. She loves diversity. She loves being a wayfinder and exploring the ocean. And she uses this love for her craft and her expertise to ultimately bring people together that haven't seen each other in thousands of years. She broke language, cultural barriers, unprecedented situations to be able to bring back community. Here we see, once again, her love for wayfinding allowed her to reconnect people. Returning to Coop and Murph, we can understand that Coop and Murph also started a new civilization for humanity across the galaxy. Ultimately, this is so important because that's unprecedented scientific innovation. And we see this idea again through both Kurt Cobain and Wes Montgomery. Kurt Cobain was prolific in every right. His music broke the bounds of not just what you could do with a guitar, but what you could do with your words when you were speaking to people of all ages. In his prime, he was able to reach people of older generations, younger generations, both genders, different socioeconomic groups, and different marginalized communities. He was able to connect everyone through unprecedented innovation. He showed the best parts of life. Even before his tragic death, he was able to illustrate the beauties of life through his music. His love for music allowed him to share his unprecedented approach to rock, which then in turn helped everyone, not just those listening to his music, but him himself who was struggling with so much, enjoy life for what it is. Ultimately, we also see this through Wes Montgomery. Wes Montgomery was largely known to be a famous blues and musician creator. But also, what few people know is that Wes Montgomery has a lot of music that doesn't really get attention in the main eye. But he still chose to create this music that was a hybrid between jazz and blues that maybe didn't do as successful as his top hits, but is still so important because this music was new innovation. It was innovation that made him happy. Rather than falling into the trap of whatever was going to get him the most money, he continued to make music that made him happy, that made him want to keep going and enjoy life and the creative spirit that had led both his career and personal life for so long. Here we can understand that his innovations past the present, yet even though they did not get the consideration and fame as they deserved, still made his life happy, and thus we can see his love for creating music and the unprecedented made his life and quality of life better. Returning to today's quotation, "I dream for a living," uttered by Steven Spielberg, we can wholeheartedly agree with this. Every person in this room, one way or another, is exercising their love for a craft. Thank you to those of you who have come to watch me, and thank you to those of you who are competing. Everyone in here is exercising their love for the craft, and we can see this through building connections between us and also innovating past the precedents. From the examples I've given to Coop and Murph, we understand that to love a craft is to love life. The connection that Coop and Murph share is one that we can all hope to aspire, whether it's with the work that we create, with the people that we meet, or the innovations that we